everybody, and welcome to this journal tag questions video. So I'm following along with LoveLynn'sLife journal tags. I watched Journalwithdolly's video this morning where she did a little talk through of all her journals from the year and answered the questions that Lynn had made. So I went on and decided to do this myself. So I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you get to know me a little bit better, because unless you follow me on Instagram or know me in real life, I haven't really ever said much about myself or what I do, or yeah, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about myself as well and tell you a bit about my job and my life a little bit as well through this. So, and then we'll have a little overview of my journals from the year. So these journals did actually start in October 2019, so that's when I originally started journaling. So that's when I started with this one. So it kind of a little bit cheating because there's a couple of extra months in there, but it all kind of carried on through, so I just carried on and I used different travellers notebooks and went through the year. So I'll go through the questions anyway, and you'll get to know my journals a little bit better hopefully, and have a little overview of what I've done this year, why I've journaled and how it's helped me in certain ways. So I don't know, I think I'll talk about me a little bit to start with. So my name's Lisa, and my YouTube channel and Instagram is Lisa's Lovely Life. I've loved doing creative journaling this last year or so, but I've always been quite creative and arty. I have always been into scrapbooking since I was very young. I've got some very old, very embarrassing scrapbooks from being a teenager and stuff, and throughout the years I have stopped scrapbooking and stopped journaling and not really done much, but I've dabbled in sewing and crocheting, and I love cross stitching, anything creative. I've never been very good at drawing. I loved art at school. It was my favourite subject, and I've always loved doing creative things. So like I say, I started journaling last October, and I've really enjoyed it. I made my Instagram earlier in the year because I decided, rather than bombarding my normal Instagram with all my arty stuff, I'd make a crafty one where I can post lots of arty stuff and not bore the people who aren't interested in it. And that's I've done really well. I really enjoy posting, and sometimes I follow a lot of crafty people on there, and it's nice to just get away from the real world, get away from all the crap of this year, and just have a little scroll through all my crafty stuff and all the creative things that people post, and helps me be inspired a little bit. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. So that's a little bit about my crafty side of things. The idea of the Instagram and the YouTube was just to post all sorts of crafty stuff. It probably is mainly journaling and more paper crafts, because that's what I'm into at the moment and that's what I'm really enjoying. I've got a little crafty area set up in the house in our spare room, and I love my desk, and I'm definitely a bit of a hoarder when it comes to anything crafty. I have so many stickers and so much stuff that I need to start using my supplies rather than buying more stuff. But I hope to put a bit more like other stuff in as well, like if I'm doing a sewing project or if I'm doing a cross stitch or something, I might see the progress of that and see how we do that. I'm definitely not a pro at any of these things. I'm definitely one of them, what's the saying? Master, what is it? What's the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, I definitely dabble in everything. I don't really become a master in anything. So, but it's all for myself. It's nothing like I'm not selling it or nothing, making a career or a living out of it. So it's just a bit of therapy for me, really. Which leads on to my career. So you've probably seen in my journals and maybe heard me talking about doing shift work and the fact that I'm a nurse. So I am a nurse who works in a hospital on a ward setting. I really enjoy this. It definitely has its stressful times and moments, and I've been a nurse for 5 years now, and it's brought many challenges and many joys to my life. So yeah, that's just because you probably oversee that throughout my journals, and like I say, with my planner videos I talk about doing night shifts and day shifts and blah 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 blah. So yeah, so I did my training in Scotland. I lived up there for 3 years and I absolutely loved it in Scotland. I made some amazing friends, and my dad lives up in Scotland, so it was lovely being close by to him as well. So that was really nice, 3 years. And then after I qualified, I moved to Liverpool, where I live now. So I love it in Liverpool. It's an amazing city. There's always so much to do. The people are just unique and lovely most of the time. They are just always so friendly, and I love their sense of humour and the way they can be so caring and nice. So all my work friends have become like a big family, really, especially this year when with the pandemic it's been a tough year for everyone, and we've all supported each other, really. So it's been nice to have that bit of normality carrying on going to work, obviously, because we haven't had any time off, or we've had to carry on. As much as it's been crazy at times, it's been nice to have that normality and a bit of socialisation with people in that sort of setting, obviously, because we can't not stop what we're doing, because we obviously need to carry on working in the hospital. So yeah, so that's a bit about me, really. I've got a cat, Fifi, which if you follow me on Instagram or watched any of my previous videos, you've probably seen her pop in. She loves to come and sit on the desk. She may make an appearance throughout this video. She's currently in her bed asleep. So yeah, so I live with my partner. We've been together nearly 15 years. And yeah, we were childhood sweethearts as such. We met when we were 14. So me and him live in Liverpool in our little house. So yeah, that's a bit about me, really. If there's anything else you'd like to know, just maybe pop a question in the comments, and I'll help answer as much as I can if there's anything you want to know. So yeah, let me get into these journal tag questions then that LoveLynn'sLife made. I think this is a really good idea. I really like this. When I watched Holly's video this morning, I was like, oh, that's lovely. I wanted to do a little like picture of all my journals together and say, oh, this is my year's journals, but this just like, it just popped up and it was perfect. So I hope you enjoy it anyway, and I'm going to have a little talk through what we're actually here for now. So Lynn's first question is, what was your favourite journal of the year? So I obviously started off in my traveller's notebook size little inserts, and then I decided I wanted something a little bit bigger. I liked a bit more space. So then I got this carrot notebook from Kenji, which I've used. This, my current Christmas notebook is the same, and there's, if you've watched my last video, you would have seen me show this. This little notebook is, oh no, this one's from the works. Take it back. I take it back, but it was that sort of size when it started. So this was a little notebook from Kenji, but I love the carrots. If you've seen pictures of myself throughout this journal, or you've seen my head pop in, you'll know I'm a ginger carrot top, and I love my hair, and I embrace my hair, so I love anything to do with a carrot. Also, look how amazing this carrot pin is. A pen pal sent me that, and I absolutely love it. It's just so me. Now I've lost the page that I've marked to show you as my favourite page. There it is. Okay, yeah, so this is probably my favourite journal, and I think my style. So when I started journaling and I did this first one, my style was very different. I literally just started off writing and sticking a couple of little odd stickers in, and that was a little went to see Russell Howard, so that was a little tag. That was my first ever sort of creative journal type page, which I started to literally just writing. Then it quickly got a little bit different. So this was obviously the end of last year, so this was Christmas last year. I started sticking photos in, and then I started sticking that's a little card my friend got me, which actually that has seeds in it. I'm meant to plant it. Every time she looks at my journal, she's like, you see, you're meant to plant that. And then I more and more just sticking stuff in, so it got a little bit creative very quickly. So yeah, so that's my style. You can see it changed really quickly, but even throughout the time of doing my journals, I think my style goes a little bit different, and it goes a little bit more simple, and then I get a bit more cramped in and fill the pages. But I think this is definitely probably my favourite one. So yeah, I tried to do a bit of like this. These made me be able to do a bit more journaling and stick a little bit more stuff in. Here's, I bought a new car, and I stuck a whole picture of a new car in. So I think this is probably my favourite one this year. I like the way it's not too chunky, but it's got a nice chunk to it. It was still easy to work in. So yeah, I think that's my favourite one for the year. And when's this one from? So this one's from May to, there is to August. So this was when life started to get a little bit more, we were getting out of the lockdown a little bit and things were starting to feel a little bit more normal. We were able to kind of meet people outdoors. We went to a little car boot sale things. So yeah, things were starting to feel a little bit more normal in life. So maybe that one's why it feels a bit nicer to, why it's a bit more my favourite. Because oh look, there's the page I did. A Journal with Dolly sent me some happy mail. I won a little competition when she hit a subscribe target. So she sent me some happy mail. So she's very much inspired me even more. So that's the page I made when she sent me the stuff. So yeah. So I think that's my favourite journal of the year anyway. So the next one goes on to what's your favourite page, which I was going to show you in then, but I knew the question was coming up. So there's a couple of pages in this journal that are my favourite pages. So what's this one? I really like this one because it we were painting the conservatory, and I love the way I did this. And this is the colour, this dark green is the colour we painted the conservatory wall. So I don't know why, but this page really stood out to me. So yeah, I like the way I drew the little paintbrush and documented that, because it was something we achieved in lockdown, which we probably wouldn't have ended up doing really, but it was something I wanted to do. And as my other half was off work, he was furloughed, he helped paint it, and yeah, we stripped it and made it all. It's kind of, I've got loads of plants, and I painted the wall dark green, and I put some pictures up that my friend got me that I loved. So yeah, I think that's one of my favourite pages. And then this one, so we hadn't been going out much at all because of lockdown and all that sort of jazz, and we decided to go for a walk. So we drove a little while and we went to Alderley Edge, which is I think about 45 minutes away from where we live, an hour or so, and it was such a lovely walk. And what I did is I collected some leaves, and I actually just I had like thick sellotape, and I actually just put them the leaves inside thick sellotape, and they've really like kept well. So I really like that one because it's got kind of things we actually collected on the walk and little pictures. And this was one of the first like outings we did, so we hadn't been going out for months and months, and this was something we got a National Trust membership off my dad last Christmas, and we literally hadn't used it because of the lockdown and everything. And this was actually a National Trust park. When we got there, you didn't actually need National Trust because the car park, the machine was broken, so you didn't even need to show your card or anything. But it was like one of them where we went because of the National Trust thing. So if you don't know what National Trust is, it's if you're not from the UK, it's like a membership where there's lots of like national parks and national houses and things, and you can pay to go into them to visit, and it helps support like conservation and like maintaining the land, and maintaining like stately houses and things like that. I think anyway. But you can get like a yearly membership and you can go to all these sorts of things. So that's what National Trust is. So yeah, that's another one of my favourite pages. I just love the way the leaves preserved really well. And then I've tagged a couple, I've just put a little mark in a couple of other favourite pages because obviously I couldn't have just one. This one is one I made to do with lockdown and everything. So this was the day after my other half's birthday. And it just felt, I think I was just feeling a bit down. We had a little Zoom quiz with a couple of our friends, and this picture just felt so apt. So obviously I'm ginger, my other half's ginger, and then this is like all my cousins and the little kids and everyone, and it just totally reminded me of all of them. I actually cut it out of an Asda magazine, and this was, my cousin dropped off a bunch of flowers. She owns a florist, and she dropped off a little bunch of flowers for me, and she put this on the like paper that they were wrapped in, so I kept that because it was special. But yeah, this page felt very apt to the time, and I really like this one. I put this in thinking one day we'll be round the table like we do sometimes when we get together, normally having a takeaway, not hot cross buns. But yeah, so even still now I feel like we still need to have this time together because we've not been able to, but the time will come. And this little quote that I've always loved this quote. I had this photo printed off already, but it just felt so perfect at the time. It says, "Distance teaches us to appreciate the days that we are able to spend together, and distance teaches us the definition of patience. It is a reminder that every moment together is special, and every second together should be cherished." So yeah, that felt very empty, because I think we had a little Zoom quiz then as well, so it was nice just to see all their faces and be all together. So, and this is about my cousin's little baby, which you'll see a lot throughout this. She was pregnant, so the baby was the size of a troll, so I had to stick that in there. So I love that page. I don't know why, it just kind of makes me feel, as much as it's a sad page because it's about me missing people, and not being able to spend time with the people I love, it felt very like I documented it in a nice way, that it was about the time we're going to be looking forward to one day, still to this day. And then I think I've got one more favourite page. I'm sorry, this video is probably going to be quite long. I'm not very good at short videos. So this I did this page. So we watched the Umbrella Academy, and I just wanted to document it, so we kind of binged it. And I really enjoyed the way I made this page, so simple. And it was kind of like around Halloween-y time, so it looked spooky. But I literally just, I cut this umbrella out in the background, and at this point I was printing off my journaling, which I kind of go through stages of doing and not doing. So I printed off the journaling and I did some yoga. But I just really enjoyed the way that page turned out. I think it looks simple, but it really like fitted just to remembering we watched that series and we enjoyed it. So yeah, so that's my favourite pages. I'm just going to check this is still recording. Yeah, we are. I got a new tripod for Christmas, so this is, I'm sorry if there's like a ring of light, but hopefully the lighting will be a lot better and you'll be able to see my videos better. If you see my Instagram, I posted about how I was going to try and do 2 videos today, so I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to try and do I got quite a few crafty presents for Christmas, so I thought I'd do a little haul and show you all what I got. So yeah, including this mug, my nice mug. So the next question from LoveLynn'sLife was, what supplies did you love the most? So let me put these on the way. So I think, and I think Lynn said this in hers, but watercolours I think have been my favourite. So I haven't used watercolours too much. Let's see if I can find a page. And I don't know what to do. So see, you can kind of see in the background of that one, there's like some green. Let me see if I can find any pages. Now I say this, I probably I haven't used watercolours as much as I probably would have wanted to, but I get them out and I go through stages. So this black in the background is obviously watercolours. Actually, I'll show you some pens as well, which have definitely been my go-to this year. Now I can't find any watercolour pages. After I said, so here around the edge I've done some watercolouring, and just here we went to Cheddar Gorge, we had a little camping trip. Oh, I love this page actually too. So we managed to get a little camping trip in this year. Just the 2 of us went down to Somerset, and we stayed in Cheddar Gorge for a few days, and it was lovely. It was definitely a little break we needed. We walked up Cheddar Gorge and nearly died because it was very steep, and it was like the hottest day of the year. But see here, I've used these watercolours in the background. So yeah, oh yeah, definitely that's got to be up there on one of my favourite pages. So I got these 2. You've probably heard me speak about these watercolours in previous videos, but I got these 2 palettes for my birthday off my dad. I think it was birthday, yeah. So, and I love them. These ones are all shimmery colours. I'll see if I can link them below, because I think he got them off Amazon. So I'll see if I can find them. But this one's like shimmery colours, and then this one's like an array of different colours. Where's my little swatch? I've got a little swatch of all the colours somewhere. But it's really, it's like a good array of colours, and I've really enjoyed using them. I don't know where my swatch is. But yeah, so I think watercolours, and I don't know what to do, because I know a lot of people go ahead and pre-plan their pages and do a bit of watercolour on them to make a bit of background, because it's not as daunting going to a blank page. But I just feel like sometimes, like, I might do a nice colourful background, but then I might not have a nice colourful day. I might have a bit of a dull day. So I don't feel like that fits in with the mood of the day. So I always never know what to do about pre-painting pages. I think I might give it a go this year though. I think I might just do some like bold colours in the background and do a bit of it around the edge and stuff. But I do definitely want to try and use my watercolours more. But they've definitely been a highlight of my journals. They just bring it together and make it feel a bit more colourful. As well as these pens. So I've got a couple here, and the rest are in the pencil case over there. But these metallic colour pens, my cousin got me these for my birthday, and they're really good. So I've used them quite a lot for like backgrounds and things. So see these little gold flicks, I've used that in like headings, and I've used any recently in my Christmassy pages. Oh, here's some watercolours. So this is a nice watercolour page I did. So yeah, but they're really good to make it like just a bit bolder, and I say that. I know I can't find any examples, but they're really good. They're like metallic. They are quite thick and they do bleed through a little bit, but quite often I stick paper on the opposite pages anyway. So, but they were really good. So that is, I wrote some little notes for myself so I could remember what to say in these answers. I've literally not looked at them. Fave journal, fave page, love supplies. Let me get the questions back up because they've gone off. So, what supplies did you love? We've just done that one. And what supplies won't you use anymore? So, I think I've got a lot of like papers, and I've got a big box next to me full of all scrap paper where I've used a paper and I've ripped it in half and I've got a little bit left over, and I keep just every single little bit of scrap paper. But as you can see, these journals are quite bulky. Spoiler to one of the next questions, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know this already. I'm going into the Hobonichi cousin tomorrow. Tomorrow's New Year's Day. So I can't keep it the one book's got to last me 6 months. This is 1 year. So I'm not planning on sticking loads of like extra papers and loads of tip-ins and stuff in, but we're going to see how that goes because that is just my style. Like, let's see if I can find some examples. So this is quite simple because that's a bit of tissue paper, so that'll be fine. Washi, I love using washi as well, but I do quite often use like thicker cards and stuff. And I know that's probably not going to be doable in the Hobonichi because it is got to last the year, and I don't want it to get too bulky. So I think next year. So here, look, I've used like a big thick piece of card, but I've actually made it into a little pocket. So that's what I did. I did this page the other day. This is for the 19th of December. So yeah, I think I'm planning on not using as much papers and different cards and stuff. Not as thick cards anyway. I don't really know what supplies won't you use anymore. Yeah, I think so. I know I need to try and use everything up I've got, so I don't want to say I'm not going to use anything, but yeah, I don't think there's much that I wouldn't change to this year. I think I'm going to have to watch with stamps. So I do like using stamps, but with the thin Hobonichi paper, I don't know how the stamps are going to hold up. Maybe if I get some certain ink. So if anybody knows any ink that's good to use on Hobonichi paper, let me know in the comments. Because I think the ink I've got is quite thick and quite dark, and it's just going to bleed through the pages. So yeah, let me know if you know any good inks, and maybe I'll use my stamps a bit more. So I'm sorry that question was a bit pants, but I don't really know. I feel like I need to use my supplies, so I can't really decide what I'm not going to use. But I think paper and thick cards I probably won't be using as much next year. Not in my journal anyway. I'm in the process of trying to do like a Project Lifestyle album, so I'll use a lot of my thicker papers. I get papers from the Lollipop box, which you maybe seen me show in previous videos. So I use a lot of them for my Project Lifestyle, which I've totally got to catch up on. You'll probably see videos of that in the future, hopefully. So yeah, that's that question. I'm just going to stop the questions a second and actually just run through my actual journals, because I've never done a flip through, and I'm not going to do a whole flip through now. I'm just going to talk through the process of them. So this is started in October. So I started in the little traveller's notebook, which I got from, so this little traveller's notebook was from Tiger. So if not sure if you've heard of Flying Tiger, it's a little shop. They're just dotted over the UK. There's not one here in Liverpool, and I absolutely love the shop. It's so good. They've got so many lovely crafty stationery little things. But whenever we go to visit family where we're from, I quite often go to Tiger there because there's one where we're from. So yeah, so that was from Tiger, including this little insert, which was just a grey traveller's notebook, which I stuck a couple of little things in. So that was that. And then this traveller's notebook I got from Paper Chase. This was really cute. I really like this one. I couldn't wait to go into this when I got it, because I was just really getting into my journal. And then it has yellow pages, so you can kind of see the yellow pages in the background. But yeah, so that one's from Paper Chase, and I like that because it stepped up a little size, but I still wanted a bigger size. Felt like I needed to go bigger. And then we went on to the carrot notebook, which I spoke about. So what's this one? This one is from February to May. That one's February to May. So I don't tend to do like a daily journaling. I like to try, and I've done really well with December, but I don't beat myself up or get annoyed if I miss a day, or if I feel like I'm just going to scrap a day off. Or sometimes when I'm on nights, let's see if I can find an example of being on nights. Sometimes when I'm on nights, I'll, so like here, like I've just literally stuck the 4 nights I've done. And I've stuck something that's kind of resembles night shifts. I don't always do that. Sometimes I've done like a page for each night if there's been much to write about or much going on. But normally, like here, I've just wrote the 4 days I was on nights. So I just try not to beat myself up too much, which, as I spoke about in my last video, with the Hobonichi, because it is a daily journal, I'm just going to, if I have a blank page, I can just stick a picture in or a magazine cut out, or just leave it blank. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to come and arrest me. Like Journal with Dolly says, there's no journal police. So yeah, so I went from that one, and then so into the Carrot Notebook. I started that one in May, and that one went on to the beginning of August. This little insert was also in here, but I put it in here when I went into this. So I decorated this front cover, and then this is like a little life journal I tried to make. So it's got like some self-care tips, what makes me happy, which I obviously didn't complete. A lot of this isn't complete, and part of me feels like I might just carry it on through into 2021. But I've just put it in here for now because I feel like it was part of 2020. This was some journal prompts that I never ended up doing. This was 20 for 2020, so it was meant to be like you've selected 20 things. I don't know if people like this idea to go on to next year, but you selected 20 things. So I selected 20 new movies, 20 new places, 20 no spends day, 20 no spend days, 20 new books, and then you're meant to keep a little document of what them 20 things you did is. I have done a lot of these, I've just not filled it in. So I probably have had 20 self-care days, and I've read a couple of books, and I've watched quite a few new films, obviously with the year. But I just haven't documented it, which is rubbish. And then this was a little monthly gratitude I made, which I also haven't filled in. I think with the way the year went, it got a bit like, even though there was definitely things to be grateful for, and I've always tried to appreciate the little things, I just got a bit bleh with it. And then this was my word of the year. So everyone at the beginning of last year went into the word of the year, and no expectations was my word of the year. And I feel like it's kind of become quite fitting because there was no expectations for this year. Like, we couldn't have expectations because the year just went the way it did. So that was just a little page I made. And then, yeah, this is pretty empty still, this one. I've got a little yoga log, a little movie log. So yeah, and then in the back I've got loads of little photos of all my lovely people. So I love this. I like, most of these I printed off on my sprocket, and I just cut them up. So I've kept that in there because it's still part of the year, and I might still try and carry it on. And then in the back is my weekly and monthly planner, which is like basically just my diary, which you've seen in other. But I've just kept that in there because it's still part of the year, and yeah, it fits. So just about. And then going on from August, I went into this little pink one. So I actually got this little pink, I think it was Carpe Diem. Can't remember to say that. That actually come with this journal, which I got from TK Maxx, or Home Sense actually. Got that from Home Sense, and it was reduced. I think it was like £10 with the insert, so I was quite chuffed with that. So this has gone a little bit smaller again, but it was blank pages. So this one is from the 1st of October to the 1st of October to the 11th of November. So what I did in the back of this one, I didn't realise, was I was stamping October instead of November, which you'll see if you've watched some previous videos of mine. So, but yeah, so that's all Halloweeny and stuff. A little coronavirus update. I've printed off Boris's speech. I've done that quite a few times in here, just to, it's more so because I want to document it for the reason of documenting, but I don't want to go into too much detail and stuff, so I just ended up printing out the speech more than anything, so then in the future if I want to come back and have a read of it, I can know what was going on at that time. So yeah, so that's that journal. There's another little one from night shifts. Yeah, and then I went to this one, which was, I got this journal was from No Moo Notebooks. I think I started it upside down. Yeah, No Moo Notebooks. So that's the same as my planners that I use for the year. So it was a nice quality paper and just plain white. And I covered it. I've stuck some bits and pieces on it. So this one is from August to unfinished September, so I've still got stuff in the back here that I've not finished. I would like to just even stick the stuff in just to try and remember, but there was a little time at the back of beginning of October, September, which I lost my flair a little bit, which I'll talk about in a minute because that's one of the questions. So yeah, so that was that, and then after that finished in September, I went into this at the beginning of October, no, November, beginning of November, same again, I'll use my stamp wrong, and this has become like my December daily as such. So I've still got a couple of pages from the last week to do, which I haven't done yet because I've been in work and stuff, and I decided to film this video instead of doing some journaling. So yeah, that's just a little bit about my journals. I should have probably done that at the beginning, sorry. And then I'll finish off the questions. I think there's a couple more to go. So where do we? What did you learn from keeping a journal through the pandemic? So obviously I've just flipped through them and I've kind of talked about missing people and documenting stuff. A big thing I've learned probably through journaling in the pandemic is appreciating the little things. So as you can see from the little flip throughs I've just done, documenting the little things is very much part of my day, especially at the minute when there's not really a lot going on. Documenting the story of the bread man coming to visit, documenting doing a bit of journaling. This was a simple walk me and Sam went to, watching a film, getting a takeaway. There is some big events, so like my cousin having a baby I've documented, but it's the little things I think that matter and have got us through this year and made us appreciate what we have got. And yeah, so also another thing that's taught me through journaling through the pandemic is documenting. So like I was just saying about that coronavirus page, I don't always want to go on about it, and sometimes that's what's making me feel anxious or whatever. I don't want to focus on the coronavirus and all the gear, but having documentation of it and being able to look back in years to come is going to be amazing. Like being able to look back and say, oh yeah, we were there, and oh, do you remember that day we weren't allowed to leave, and do you remember the day the shop shut again, and oh wait, another lockdown, and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's really beneficial for journaling because I've got that documented, and I'm sure in the future other people might want to look back over them. Or yeah, so this was just a little page I did when it first started, so like showing us how to wash our hands, and I made a little timeline. So this was from January where it kind of all started. So this was this page I did in March, but it was about the coronavirus and what was it about and where it all started. So yeah, so that's what journaling taught me. I think I've done. Yeah, also another thing that it taught me this year was to take time for myself and to just sit down and do something I appreciate doing. I'm normally a busy bee and I don't stop, and I'm always going here or going there, but doing journaling makes me stop and sit down and just focus on something that I want to do, whether it's sticking stickers in a book or sticking a little bit of washi tape down or doing a little watercolour splat. Like it's just something for myself where it's making me stop and just focus on one thing rather than my brain racing and being such a busy bee. So yeah, I think it's definitely some positives that have come out of journaling this year, and it's definitely something I want to carry on. So what journal are you currently using is the next question. So as kind of I've just flipped through then and spoke to you about what journals I'm doing. So this is my current journal. So this is my winter Christmassy journal. If you've seen previously, I've done a couple of journal with me videos. So yeah, so this is my little December daily style-esque journal. I did a couple, this is my little shaker page I did. So yeah, so that's my current journal. It asks you what your plans are. The next question coming up is going to be about plans for 2021, so I'll speak about that in a second, because obviously it's New Year's Eve today. It's the 31st of December. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, so we're going to be starting in the new journal tomorrow, but I do have some pages to catch up on still. I've been printing this morning some pictures from the last few days and over Christmas, so I've still got quite a few to finish in the back there, about the last week or so. And like I said before, I've still got a little bit to catch up on from the end of September, but I'll just go back to it when I feel like it. I do want to at least stick the pictures in and put something down just to document a couple of things that happened. But yeah, this is my current journal anyway. It was from Kenji. It's a lovely little Christmassy mouse. I love it. And then I put this little charm on, which was from my Lollipop box. I just put it in as kind of like a page marker. I just put it on a little bit of ribbon that I got in the Lollipop box. And yeah, so that's my current journal. Okay, so the next question is, what challenges did you face regarding journaling this year? So I spoke about some positives of journaling a second ago, where we were talking about what I've learned and how journaling's helped me this year. So some negatives are maybe the whole thing, which I've discussed before and I mentioned before, about pressure on yourself to journal every day, or where it becomes more of a chore to journal. So I work full time. Like I say, normally I'm a bit of a busy bee. I'm around here, there, visiting people, going there, doing this. Obviously, that's not been the case this year. So I've had time to journal and it's been lovely. But during, when things started to ease a little bit, so say in August and beginning of September time, I was a bit busier and I did have things going on, and we did manage to catch up with some friends, and at that point in time I got a bit flustered with my journal, and I felt, especially because I started to have things that I wanted to document and little events like going to the park and meeting people and little things that we did that I wanted to kind of document, I think I put a bit of pressure on myself, that I wanted to do it and I wanted to get things down, but then because I was busy I didn't have the time as much to do it, which was a bit of a bummer, but that's why I've still got pages left to document in kind of the end of August, beginning of September. But I hit a bit of a wall, and it was like, oh well, I want to catch up with them pages, so I don't want to carry on. But realistically, the journal's for no one but me, and I so the fact that I have got blank pages doesn't really matter, and it, like I said before, and Dolly said, there's no journal police, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've got blank pages. So, and I'll get there, I'll catch up. I think it's one of these ones, isn't it? So I think that's probably a challenge, and I did hit a bit of a wall, and I think everybody kind of does. Maybe it just gets a bit tedious, and if you're documenting the same thing every time, and or the same sort of pages, it's a bit like, meh. But it's just trying to bring it back. So what I ended up doing was I just left space, and I think I knew them last few pages, there's probably going to be some blank pages as well, but I knew I had enough space to document that, and I ended up starting a new journal and just carrying on with the current time and what I was doing at the time. And then if I was ever had a creative flow and I'd done what I wanted to do and I had some time, I'd go back and just add that page in, and then the same. And I have been catching up, still got a little bit to do, but yeah, so I think that's probably a challenge for the year. But like we say, it doesn't matter. There's nobody like judging you. If you've got a blank page, so what? Like, just carry on, just skip it, just throw a bit of colour on it, just stick something in, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that'll be, I'd say, a journal challenge, but I've overcome it as best I could. So what are your rough plans for 2021 is the second but last question. So my plan, if you've watched my other videos, I'm not going to go into this too much because I made a whole video about setting it up the other day, is my Hobonichi cousin. So yeah, that's my plan for the next year, really. So this is the cousin Avec, which is split into two. I don't know how it's going to go. I do like the whole style of just, because these books aren't like, they're not monthed, they're not anything, they're just, I filled it up, and once it's full I've just started another one, which I've liked. Like I say, I've not got that challenge of, oh, I've always got the date on that page, I need to use that page. Some pages I've done double page spreads, things like that, so I do like that, but I think I just need to, like I've just said to you all, I need to just get on with it. There's no journal, please. So this is my plan for this year, and also my plan for this year is to keep it as like my planner journal as well. So I'm going to plan the months. In the back I've got my birthday tracker, my bill tracker. I'm going to put a little tracker in for like video ideas and books I want to read. So I am planning on trying to cram everything into here, which I don't know how it's going to work because I don't want it to get too fat and unusable. But we'll go with the flow and see. I've been looking at these all year and I've worked hard and I just wanted to treat myself. So yeah, so that's the plan for this. Like if you've seen my last video, if not, go and watch it. It's about me setting it up and about how I've got this cover at the moment. But the original cover that I got when I actually ordered the Hobonichi, was this one. So I am going to go into this, but I feel it's just a little bit springy. It's a bit too colourful for this time of year. So I've stayed in the moody sparkliness for now. Like I say, go watch my other video and I'll talk a lot more about it. So yeah, so that's the plan for next year. We'll see how that pans out. I'm sure you'll be involved. And then the last question is, how many journals did you finish in 2020? Sorry. So how many journals did you finish in 2020? So I know I've gone on a little bit about this journal not being finished for September, but I think pretty much all of them are full. Obviously, I've still got my December daily to do, and I've still got a week or so of the end of August, September to do. But I'm going to say it's finished in my head. Like I say, I've got them coupled, but I will get back to it, hopefully. If not, so what? So, I've got a lot. So I've got 1, 2, also I kind of cheated because it's a bit of October and November from the year before. 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the year I've got 6, which isn't bad, is it really? That's like a journal for 2 months. I'm not going to class these because these are more just like planners and diaries, so I'm not classing them, and I'm not classing that little one that I've not finished. But 6, yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So my plan is to kind of keep them. I did want I wanted to put this carrot notebook in here and try and keep these all together. So then I just have these 2 for 2020, and then I can maybe still use this for something else. But this just won't shut. If I take the carrot notebook out and put it in here, there's just no way it's going to shut. I was saying to my other half the other day, maybe I could like stick something really heavy on them for a week or something and see if we can squash them down a bit so they can all fit in there. But I've still got a week to do of them 2 weeks that I've just been talking about, so it's probably not going to be the case. And realistically, this one's nice as well, so I'll just keep them all together. I'd like to get like a vinyl for the side, maybe, like that says 2020. So I think I'm going to look on Etsy and see if I can order something like that. Because that'll be nice. Maybe the same for here, but I might have to do like a smaller version because it's a little bit more creased and not such a big space. So yeah, I think that's my journal with me tag. I've really enjoyed doing this and talking through. I'm sorry it's a super duper chatty one today. I'm hopefully just going to watch this back and upload it for you guys so you can watch it today. I'm a bit slow at doing all that though. The editing process I'm not the best at. So if you've got any tips or recommendations, give me a shout. I know sometimes the volumes aren't great and the lighting hasn't been the best. But I'm hoping with this new light and my new little tripod thing that my dad got me, I'm hoping that'll be a bit better. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little journal tag. And thank you to LoveLynn'sLife and Journal with Dolly for suggesting it and putting it out there. Yeah, so go check them out. I'm going to link them below. I'll link a couple of other things I've mentioned, hopefully, if I can remember. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely new year, whatever you're doing. Hope you stay safe, and hopefully things will maybe start to improve soon so we can get back to our way of living. So bye!